Now let's take a look at wildcard masks. You'll recall that the subnet mask that's being used whenever we configure an IP address on an interface uses ones to refer to the fact that we should match the bit, and zeros indicate ignore the bit. So ones indicate the network address, and zeros were indicating the host portion of the address. So ones for match, zeros to ignore. However, with the wildcard masks, we use zeros to match the bits, and ones indicate to ignore the corresponding bits. Wildcard masks are used for two primary purposes in this course. One, we use them with access lists, and the other, we use them in OSPF configuration. So let's take a look at a couple of examples real quickly. One example would be if we're wanting to specify a particular host address that we want to match in an access list. We specify, or we type in 172.16.1.1 with a wildcard mask of 0.0.0.0.0. This special mask means match all the bits in the corresponding address. We could also abbreviate this address by simply typing in host 172.16.1.1 since we're wanting to specify that particular host. So we would either be denying traffic from that particular host or to that particular host, or we would be allowing traffic to or from that particular host address. Now, if we want to specify instead the subnet that that host is on, instead of typing in that as a wildcard mask, we might indicate 172.16.1.0, the subnet that that host is on, and a 0.0.0.255 for the wildcard mask. This means that we're going to match the network portion of that address, or the subnet portion of that address, and we're going to ignore the corresponding host bits for that address. This way we would permit or deny all traffic to or from that particular subnet. Now, another special type of usage of these wildcard masks with access lists would be this second example here, where we type in 0.0.0.0. This is any address with a 255, 255, 255, 255, which means any mask. So we're saying any address, and we're ignoring all the bits. We can abbreviate this by using the keyword any instead of having to type out all of this. So we could simply type in any. So I'll give you a real quick example of how we would configure that with an access list. Access list, access-list, we'll just say we're doing access list 10. That's a standard IP access list. Access list 10, permit 172.16.1.0 or 1.1, and then if we use the all zeros there, that's indicating that we're permitting any traffic for that particular host. If we want to, let's do it like this. Let's deny traffic from that particular host, but we're going to allow all traffic from any other hosts. Access list 10, and we'll say permit any. Remember, any is that keyword that specifies that 0.0.0.0 with a 255, 255, 255, 255 mask. So this is denying traffic for this particular device or this particular host device. The other way we could have done that instead was we could have said deny host 172.16.1.1. That's the abbreviation for that instead of having to type out that mask. And then access list 10 permit any. So we're denying traffic for this particular host, but we're allowing all other traffic. After that, you would take this access list and you would need to apply it to a particular interface. I'll go ahead and just throw that in here as well. interface Ethernet 0. We go to that interface, and then we type in IP access group 10. So we're applying that access list, this access list right here, access list 10, we're applying it to interface Ethernet 0. And we can apply it inbound or outbound on that interface. The default is outbound. So that's a basic look at how to use wildcard masks in access list configuration.